Barbells and bangers is about what made me.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of Barbells and Bangers. Thank you for listening to this podcast and checking this out. I really appreciate everybody who listens to it, even if you turn it off after like a minute. This is the second episode, so I just started this thing. I'm still learning how to do the podcast thing, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. So let's go. So let's see what I want to start talking about today. Well, let's look at what I've been listening to lately. I've been listening to mostly like music in the gym, so not a whole ton of music when I'm in my car because I just don't really drive a whole lot. And then when I'm at home, I just listen to like podcasts usually. At least lately I have been. Sometimes I go through phases where I like to listen to music while I cook. But lately it's been podcasts because I'm just trying to absorb a lot of information right now. And Andrew Huberman keeps dropping these podcasts that are like 4 hours long. Sir, come on. I got things to do. Not really. Well, yeah, I have a lot of things to do. But I have other things to do besides listening to your podcast. But I have to listen to it because it's so good. Anyways, so let's see. I've been listening to a lot of hardstyle when I'm working out, which is a new thing for me. But I really like it. It really gets me like pumped. So it's basically just like electronic music is what it is. I don't really know the difference of what makes it hardstyle. I can just tell when I'm listening to it like, oh, this sounds like hardstyle. But I don't really know what the exact difference is. So if somebody could educate me, that'd be cool. Yeah, so I've just been listening to a lot of electronic music during my workouts, and of course still listening to hip hop when I work out. But another thing I was thinking of was like when I'm working out, I don't always have to listen to like music to like hype me up. So when I'm stretching, foam rolling, and doing that kind of stuff, I actually like to listen to like more calming music. So I'll listen to like hype up music during my workout, like hard rock or hip hop or electronic. And then when I'm in my recovery zone, trying to get relaxed, it's nice to put on like some acoustic stuff or even just like some chill, like lo-fi type music. I don't know. But I've just been dabbling in different styles of music. I think it's fun to kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit, you know? So anyways, speaking of getting out of your comfort zone, some of you guys did dry January. If you did and you finished it, I am proud of you. If you did it and you gave up after a week, that's okay. You can try again. You could do a dry February. You could do a dry March. You literally can do whatever you want. Like for me, like I knew I wasn't going to do a full sober October because October 1st, I was celebrating my birthday, but I was like, well, I could just start October 2nd and then I'll end it on November 2nd. But I ended up deciding to just stop drinking alcohol because after a couple weeks, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need that. And you know what's really fun about dry January is that you can have something like this from Well-Being. It is a non-alcoholic beer. And let me tell you something, guys. Let me put you on game. This beer is good. It actually tastes like real beer. So if you need a little something for your dry January, for your sober October, whatever you do, or maybe you don't drink at all, try this. It's so delicious. I will be sipping on it periodically through this podcast. I have a full glass right here, so I think it's time for a sip. But yeah, check it out, wellbeing.com. Use my code, Bree Eckert, all together, BREECKERT. Use my code and you will get 10% off as long as your order is $10 or more. So you're welcome. Trust me, it actually is good. I don't promote products that aren't good, so check it out. Anyways, that is very refreshing. I put it in the freezer for a little bit because I wanted it to be icy cold, and it is hitting the spot right now. That hits different. So let's talk about my workouts. I'm almost done with my little 8-week workout program. And what I've been doing is I've been focusing on my shoulders mostly. So like shoulders and lats. And the reason why is because I've just never really focused on upper body. I've always focused more on lower body. And I think that's really common for women to focus on is lower body, like glutes, hamstrings, all that stuff, core. But I don't know. I just really feel like my upper body, my lower body were like disproportioned strength-wise and appearance-wise. Like, I don't know, because I grew my legs quite a bit. Like if you look at pictures of me and you look at my legs from like a year ago versus now, it's a crazy difference. Like you can tell. So, yeah, I've just been focusing on upper body mostly. I mean, I'm still doing lower body. Like sometimes when I say I'm focusing on a certain muscle group, people think that's all I'm training. I'm like, nah. I still do probably the same amount of volume that I would do on lower body. I'm just not pushing myself to the limit with lower body. I'm saving that energy for the upper body workouts. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. But yeah, so I'm doing my split right now is push pull legs, but I'm doing it 6 days a week. So it's push pull legs, and then I have one rest day. Which I've always been like kind of afraid to do because the idea of only having one rest day is kind of terrifying to me because I used to do that where I used to work out like 6-7 days a week and I thought I was so awesome. I thought I was so much better than everybody else because I worked out every day. And I realized that you actually need a rest day, at least one. You need to recover. Your muscles aren't going to grow if you don't recover, girl. What are you doing? So I started incorporating the rest days, and that was a good idea. So the last split that I did was only 3 days a week. This split is 6 days a week, but I'm only doing it for 8 weeks. So I'm like, once I'm done, I'm obviously not going to do another 6 day a week split. I'm probably going to do 4 days or 5 days a week. I might do like 4 days a week and then give an optional like full body like fun day at the gym. I think that might be kind of cool. I don't know. I'm still working that out, but I made a lot of progress, guys. I have made a crazy amount of progress, and I am writing this program myself. So, like, I wrote the whole program, the whole 8 weeks out before I started it, and I've just been kind of making little adjustments as I go, but I've been following it pretty strict, not super strict, and the way I am with programs is I never follow it, like, to a T, because, like, here's the thing. I'm not competing for anything. This isn't, like, it's not that deep. So I just follow it to the point where I'm at least doing a very similar exercise if I alternate an exercise. Or like if I can't do another 2 reps, then I'll just do, 10 reps instead of 12. Whatever. Like I make little modifications. I don't beat myself up if I like change it a little bit. Especially since I created it. So it's like I'm the one that wrote it. I can change it. So it's just, I don't know. I'm just like learning so much about creating workout programs and periodizations and all that stuff. And it's just so interesting to me. But basically what I did was the first 2 weeks, cause like I have not focused really on upper body hardly at all, guys, like through my whole fitness journey. It's never really been a priority for me. So there were a lot of exercises that I kind of had to learn how to do. Like I already knew how to do them kind of, but I had to really like go back to the basics and be like, okay, how do we do a proper chest press? How do we do a proper, tricep push down or whatever it is? Just making sure that like I'm doing it in a way that's not going to injure me. I'm not a big like strict form person. Like I think that there are certain variations of exercises that work better for other people. So I don't think that critiquing form like so like I don't know, some people just get way too in the weeds with it where it's like, okay, you're just do the exercise, okay? Just do it. It's like, why are we making this so complicated? But if you're doing it in a way that's going to make you injured, then yeah, you need to stop. Don't do that. But I mean, I'm not a power lifter. I'm not like competing. So I might use a little bit of a different variation of form on different exercises. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. But anyways, yeah, so I've been just starting from the basics. And so the first 2 weeks I did basically an endurance phase. And what that means is that I was doing like high reps, like 15 to 20 reps per set. And it kicked my butt because it's like muscular endurance is so much different than strength training or hypertrophy training. It's like, it's not as much of like you feel like, rah, like, you know, you get a good pump, like you hit a new PR, you feel like really excited. You don't really get as much of that. But you get exhausted and you do feel really good after the workout. Like after you get it done, you're like, yes. It's kind of like the same feeling of like if you go for like a long jog. We're like, yeah, I got it done. Like it kind of feels more like that. But I was listening to Andrew Huberman's podcast and Dr. Andy Galpin was on, and he was talking about how reps over 15 are still going to cause hypertrophy. So I didn't really know that. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so I guess I was still growing my muscles even though I was using lighter weights. Because I was doing, I was just doing 15 to 20 reps per set. Anywhere from 2 to 4 sets per exercise, depending on the exercise. And it really helped me just get those reps in, get that practice in. And that was the whole purpose behind it. Like there was it wasn't really an optimal choice that I made putting that in there, but it really did help me learn the exercises better and correct certain things that I was doing because I wasn't having to worry about the weight. Sometimes you worry about the weight and you're like, I just got to get the weight up. Just got to get the weight up. But when the weight is relatively, not easy, but relatively easy to get up and you're just doing a lot of reps, you start to notice more things and you can slow it down because the weight isn't so heavy. So you can really slow it down and you can really pay attention, look in the mirror. And then if you do something wrong, well, guess what? You've got 20 reps in the set, so you have plenty of time left in your set to nail that movement down. So I think that was really helpful for me, was just really slowing things down, paying attention, and just getting those reps in, getting that practice in, because the only way to get better at an exercise is to practice it. So then after the two weeks of like the endurance phase or whatever, then I moved into hypertrophy. So I was just doing 8 to 12 reps on most exercises. Some of them I was still doing 15 to 20, like a burner or something like that at the end. But for the most part, I was just doing 8 to 12 reps. I'm in the last week of it now. Today was the first day of the last week. So today was push day. And today I hit 30 pounds on dumbbell shoulder press. And guess what I did when I started this program, guys? 20 pounds on dumbbell shoulder press. Now keep in mind, I'm doing 8 reps. So it's not like this is a 1 rep max. I don't really do 1 rep max, especially not on a shoulder press. That would be terrifying. But yeah, I really wanted to improve my strength of my shoulders. And I feel like anytime I tried to do that in the past, I hurt myself. So this time I didn't. Yay. Yeah. So that was really good. But yeah, so I went up to 30 pounds on shoulder press, did that today. And I also got up to 25-pound dumbbells on chest press. I still really need to work on chest press. I don't know. I used to skip chest, to be honest. Because I'm like, why do I need to train chest? But now I realize it actually is important. You don't want to do like a ton of it and make it a priority if you're female. But I think it is important to train chest. Like it's an important muscle to use. So yeah. So I learned a little bit more about training chest through this whole thing. And then what else did I do? Oh, lateral raises. I'm up to 10 pounds. Yeah, so I'm up to 10 pounds on lateral raises, dumbbell lateral raises. And for those of you who don't know, that exercise will humble you. So you might grab those 20-pound weights and good luck is all I have to say. I used to do 5-pound dumbbells on, actually, when I started this program, I was on 5-pound dumbbells on lateral raises. Now I'm up to 10. Yes. And I'm doing 15 reps, guys. It's not like 10 reps and I'm doing, or it's not like 10 pounds and I'm doing 8 reps. I'm doing 15 reps at the end of my workout. So after I've already done all this stuff, I'm doing 10-pound dumbbell lateral raises, 15 reps, 2 sets, minimum. One day I do 2 sets of them, and then the other day I do 4 sets. That's the way I have my little thing set up. But yeah, I'm freaking proud of myself. I've made so much progress in my upper body. My crop tops, none of them fit me anymore. So I'm going to have to buy new crop tops. But it's okay because I got strong. So it's all good. It's all good. So that's what I've got going on in my little workout world. It's just been really exciting hitting new PRs and seeing the progress, not just in the mirror, but like seeing me move up in weight. Like I moved up 10 pounds on dumbbell shoulder press. That's crazy. That's crazy. I never thought I'd be able to move up that fast. I thought I would get to like 25 pound and then I'd probably hit a plateau. But then I moved up to 27 and a half, and then I moved up to 30 once I got comfortable with 27 and a half. And I was like, oh, yes. Oh, and I wasn't even trying to really do this, but I hit 20-pound dumbbell bicep curls. So I went from, I could do like a sketchy 15-pound bicep curl, but 20 was out of the question. So now I can do 20s. And I'm so excited about that. So watch out for my biceps. The gun show is on the way. I'm just joking. It's not. It is kind of fun though, doing bicep curls. Actually, that's like one of my favorite exercises to do. I think it's really fun, and it never has really like caused me any like pain. I mean, it makes you sore afterwards, but I feel like it's just a good exercise to end your workout with, like end a pull day with. And I don't know. I love it. But yeah, I think my next routine, I'm going to do probably upper lower. So 4 days a week, do upper lower. And then I might do like a fun gym day, an optional day, or maybe I'll do like boxing or something one day. I don't know. We'll see. So another thing that I want to talk about is music. Obviously, this podcast is about music, fitness, MMA, combat sports, all that stuff. All the stuff I love is what this podcast is about. But I just want to talk about Bryan for a second, because I feel like he's very underrated still. Like, I know that he's getting the recognition that he deserves. Like, he's getting it. But I still don't think he's getting enough. And the more that I learn about this guy, the more I'm obsessed with him. Like, and not in like a creepy way, like, oh, I have a crush on him. Like, I'm obsessed with just everything that he's done. Like, his life is so interesting to me. So he was in the Navy. He's 26 years old, by the way. He's younger than me. It's mind-boggling. So he's 26 years old. He was born in Japan because his dad was also in the Navy, or his parents or whatever, like, traveled with the military. So he's born in Japan, but he grew up in Oklahoma, which makes total sense. He's a country music artist. And yeah, so he grew up in Oklahoma. He was in the Navy, I think, for like 8 years. And guess what? Here's where it gets real crazy. Bryan got a record deal while he was in the Navy. Like, and I mean, obviously he left the Navy like a few months after that, I think, but still, like, he was doing all this stuff while he was in the Navy. And I think it was like, I don't know, maybe like 5-ish years ago, he started his YouTube channel. And that's how he got like famous. Like, that's how he got recognized and stuff. So he literally started off just making little videos, writing songs and recording them, putting them on YouTube. Didn't really think anything about it. Didn't think much of it. And then just blew up and then got signed and got a record deal and all this stuff. And now he's crushing it. I mean, it's just crazy to me to think about. Like, we live in a world where you can, you know, be from a small town, Oklahoma, whatever, be in the Navy and record your little, you know, music videos or record your acoustic covers or whatever it is. And then you can get a record deal. It's crazy to me. It's so crazy. But what really impresses me about what Zach Bryan did is that, like, he didn't need a whole studio. He didn't need fancy equipment. I mean, if you look at some of his old videos, like, it wasn't really that high of quality. I mean, he was just recording these videos and then just posting them on YouTube, thinking, whatever, this is just my music. Here you go. I'm just going to share it with the world. And I don't know, like, the whole story of, like, how it all happened, but I know that's how, like, it kind of started. And it's just wild. Like, you can, it's something that anybody could do. But not anybody. Like, anybody could go and get an acoustic guitar and record videos in their bedroom of them singing. But not everybody can do what Zach Bryan did. But it's so crazy. Like, he didn't need anything. He just needed his guitar and his voice. And that's it. And you can feel that in his music too. Because his music is so simple. It is so simple, but it's so good. It's so good. And, like, even if you're not a Zach Bryan fan, like, you have to appreciate his songwriting. His songwriting is so good. And I think that's something that a lot of people overlook with music. Like, really great songwriters sometimes don't make the best music. I'm not saying Zach Bryan is one of those people, because Zach Bryan makes amazing music. But there are some songwriters who, yeah, like, their music's good, but it's not, like, anything you get excited about. So if you're not a Zach Bryan fan and you haven't, if you've listened to his music and you're not a fan, then I just recommend you appreciate his songwriting, because it is so freaking good, guys. Like, it is so good. And just the whole story behind everything, how he came up, and I love it. And this whole thing he's doing against Ticketmaster is so gangster. He's boycotting Ticketmaster, and he literally released an album on Christmas Day called All My Homies Hate Ticketmaster. It's so funny to me. Like, I don't know, just to have the balls to do that is fantastic. Like, respect. But I don't know. It's just funny. But I think, like, they're having some issues with that too. Like, they're still having, like, scalpers messing up things. I don't know. I saw somebody post about it in this Zach Bryan group that I'm in on Facebook. I might be a fan. I'm also in a Tyler Childers group and a Sturgill Simpson group on Facebook, by the way. So, just saying. That's how you get all the inside deets. That's how you stay up to date on all this stuff. Otherwise, I would be lost. I would have no idea when the albums are coming out. I would have no idea when the new singles drop. Like, I would be lost without these Facebook groups. They're fantastic. But yeah, anyways, Zach Bryan. Check him out if you haven't already. I mean, he's pretty famous. So if you haven't, you've probably been living under a rock, or you don't have Spotify. Yeah, so that's all I've got on that. But I'm a big fan of Zach Bryan. He's great. Oh, gosh. What's going on in the UFC world? Let me think. I know there's fights this weekend. I think it's Derek Lewis that's fighting. Not 100% on that. I'm pretty sure it's Derek Lewis that's fighting this weekend. But next weekend, UFC 284, baby. Islam Makhachev versus Volkanovski. I mean, it's such an interesting matchup. First of all, this is not Volkanovski's weight class. He fights at featherweight, and he's moving up to lightweight. But as Joe Rogan has said 3,000 times, he used to weigh over 200 pounds. Yes, like he used to be a big boy. But because he used to play rugby, so I guess he had to be really big for that. I don't know. I don't really know anything about rugby. But anyways, so he will have no problem, moving up in weight. It's just, is his height, and his reach going to be an issue? I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll also be interesting because a lot of times in grappling situations, the shorter guy usually does have a little bit of an advantage. Is like they're just a little bit harder to hold on to. But I don't know. It'll be interesting for sure. I mean, they're two completely different styles. Alex Volkanovski's very well-rounded, so he's not like any specific style necessarily. He's just good at everything. He's good everywhere. But is he as good in the grappling department as Makhachev? No. No, he's not. He's not. And that's not a knock on Volkanovski. It's just Islam Makhachev is that good at grappling. Do you guys realize Makhachev submitted the guy in the UFC with the record for the most submissions in the UFC? Do you guys realize that? I hope you do, because it's very important to know. And the thing is, like, Volkanovski survived Bryan Ortega's grappling, which was really impressive, but Bryan Ortega is not like Makhachev. Like, it's different. This style of wrestling, from like these Russian guys that are coming from Dagestan and stuff, their style is so much different. It's so much different. Okay? Like, it's crazy. So it should be really interesting. But I don't know. I think the thing is, like, yeah, Volkanovski might maybe be better at striking. I don't know. Islam Makhachev is pretty good striking. Like, he's a good grappler and a good striker. So it's kind of hard for me to root for Volkanovski on this one. I mean, I'll root for him, but do I think he's going to win? There is not a bone in my body that thinks Volkanovski is going to win. Does anybody? I mean, if he won, that would be like one of the biggest upsets. It would probably be the biggest upset of the year for sure. But yeah, that would be insane. If he beat Makhachev, I would be very impressed. Plus, then he would be a 2-belt champion. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, guys. I know a lot of people really like to root against Makhachev and root against Khabib and all the Russian guys. But, I mean, just look at the results, guys. Look at the results. They win. They win. They're good at winning. Very good at it. Probably the best at winning, actually. So, I don't know. It's just really tough for me to see Volkanovski winning this fight, especially with moving up a weight class. And yeah, I don't know. That's tough. But here's an interesting thing. I heard that Khabib is stepping away from coaching, which I don't quite understand that. I understood why he stepped away from fighting, but from coaching, I don't know. I don't get it. But that's what I heard. That could be lies. I saw it in an article. But I don't know. I don't know if that means that he's not going to coach this fight, or if that he's just like, nope, I'm done right now. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out and see if he's in Makhachev's corner. We'll see. But anyways, well, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm gonna have another sip of this beer. So refreshing. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you again for checking out my podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. If you're watching this podcast, if you're listening, sorry, you won't get to see this. But if you're watching, I hope you notice this little backdrop I have here I've created. Very DIY. But I just wanted to have a little bit better visuals for my podcast and have a little space in my apartment where I can just chill and be creative and, you know, maybe like write some like notes down and stuff like that, and try to be not at my computer all the time. You know, I can be creative somewhere besides my computer and not staring at a screen the whole time. But anyways, so I hope you enjoy my scenery. I'm going to I don't know, probably switch it up a little bit over time, but at least I have got something, you know, a little bit of a vibe here going on. I like it. It puts me in a good mood when I see it. So that's all that matters. But I'm going to wrap up this episode. So I will see you guys again next week. I hope that you enjoyed this, and go check out Bryan. All right. Bye.